What's up guys, welcome to Film and TV Reviews. Today I'm reviewing Season 3 of True Detective. This season, 8 episodes, it's about 2 detectives investigating the missing children of 1980, and of course this case has repercussions for them both in 1990 and in 2015. There are a lot of twists and turns, a lot of surprises, there's a little bit more to it than that, but I'm not going to go into that just yet. Let me first say that I don't really get the hype for True Detective at all. I can understand what people like about True Detective, it just doesn't really do much for me. So I think this is fine. I don't think it's good, I don't think it's bad, it's just fine TV. I don't think it does all that much original, I don't think it does all that much special. Yeah, the production values are great, yeah, the acting is brilliant, but other little things about it are just meh. Perfectly okay as far as I'm concerned. But let's go into a bit more detail. So this is a overarching story taking place in 1980, 1990 and 2015. So there are 3 distinct storylines going on. They all intersect. I like the way the timelines merge them together. You find out something in 1980, then it shows you them looking back on it in 1990, and then it shows you them trying to remember the stuff in 2015. It's really well done, and as expected, as the show progresses, you start to see more of the 2015 and 1990 stuff and less of the 1980 stuff. So the actual setup is interesting. It's not just a straight up murder. It's not a typical crime because there are 2 children here. They have gone missing. It starts off that way. There are some further developments. I'm not going to go into spoilers just yet, but I like the initial setup. And it is a little creepy. It is a little odd. The whole colour palette, which is all beige and brown, really adds to the mood of it all as well. The problem is, this is a really slow show. You've got to be patient with it. It can be frustrating and tough to watch at times because of how slow it is. I often found myself trying to keep myself awake at times. It doesn't help that the episodes are really long either. They are an hour long. I think the final is actually over an hour as well. There are only 8 episodes, but I think that was maybe too much. They could have trimmed maybe 2 episodes down and had a much slicker, faster pace. And yeah, it might have changed the mood and the tone a little bit, but I think it would have made it a bit more enjoyable. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what I think is the most important thing about it. But there are some good twists and turns, there are some big revelations towards the end, but I do think the ending is a bit anticlimactic. I'll go into that later on. In terms of the characters, great acting all around. Mahershala Ali is brilliant. I think Stephen Dorff is great, but he's never given too much to do. The supporting characters are fine, but Mahershala Ali really is the standout here, and he's going to get an Emmy Award. Let's face it, that's obvious. His character is fascinating and frustrating at the same time. He seems to be obsessed with the case that he's working, which is understandable. He is a detective. But one thing I didn't like about his character is the voice. I've heard Mahershala Ali speak. I know he's good at changing his voice. The voice he's putting on here is very deep, very low and gravelly in places. And honestly, I could barely understand him at times. I had to really turn the volume up just to find out what he was saying. And it makes it tough to watch. Unnecessarily so, I would say. But the characters are well developed. They are interesting. And that's about all I'm going to say about the characters. But yeah. Scoot McNairy's good. He's the father of the missing children. He shows a lot of emotion through here. It's not a role that I think he hasn't played before. I have seen him in similar situations, very emotionally charged roles he seems to get all the time, with a few exceptions. So to talk about production, this is a HBO show. That means high production values, great cinematography, great sets and locations, well directed for the most part. Yeah, it looks like a HBO show. So, very pretty, very colourful, a good looking show. The use of mood lighting, I've talked about the colours, really adds to the mood and the tone. I like that. The editing between time zones is really well done. Again, I've talked about that a little bit. I like how you never linger too long in each time zone. I like how it never becomes that confusing. They do a good job with the makeup and the prosthetics on Mahershala Ali and the other characters as they age, because well, from 1980 to 2015, there should be a visual difference, and it looks believable and convincing. And the performances help to make it so as well. But again, the episodes are long, the episodes are slow. It's really tough to watch, I think. But that's my spoiler-free impressions of True Detective Season 3. If you like the first season, I think you'll like this. If you like the second season, you should like this. The second season was bad. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of True Detective compared to most people. I don't really get into the hype of it all that much, but I do understand what people like about it. But if you've liked this review, you can subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, let me know what you think by providing some thoughts and comments down below. Share this across social media, let your friends know about this, because if you don't like it, someone else might, and it'll help me grow my audience. You can also go to Twitter and Instagram, follow me at @the_GrantBurton if you want. I do post on there every now and then, although not as frequently as I should. But hey, that's all I've got to say about True Detective. I am going to go into spoilers, so if you haven't seen the season yet, go watch it, come back, watch the rest of this. And until next time, thanks for watching. But full spoilers now. So Mahershala Ali in 2015 has memory problems. I don't think it's ever clarified if it's dementia or Alzheimer's or something else altogether, but it feels much more of a plot device than a necessary character trait, especially towards the end when it convincingly happens that he finally gets the answer he's been looking for all season, only, oh, he can't remember why he's there. So convincing, so convenient, a bit annoying. And that's what makes it very anticlimactic at the end. The fact that we, the audience, find out the answers, but the characters don't. So yeah, it's frustrating. The ending really is a little frustrating. The love interest, the relationship between Mahershala Ali and his girlfriend, whose name I can't remember right now, they do end up married. I was never convinced by their relationship. Yeah, okay, maybe they found each other attractive, maybe there was a physical attraction there, but they always seem to be bickering, they always seem to be arguing and complaining to one another. They never really felt like they were connecting at all to me. So that was an odd one for me, and it's nothing to do with the acting so much as it is the characters and the writing. So I've talked about the anticlimactic ending, let's talk about before the ending, because we actually find out most of the answers that we need or wanted in the episode before the final episode, which means that the extra long final episode is full of just further development, further stuff that we don't necessarily need. So why is the episode longer? It's unnecessarily long, and that's the same with every episode. I've mentioned it a couple of times now. This did not need to be 8 episodes, and they could have wrapped up everything they'd done in the final episode. Should have been merged with the episode beforehand. It would have made it a bit more satisfying, and yeah, that's True Detective. I thought it was okay. It is the only season of True Detective I watched in its entirety. I did watch the first season, but I gave up about halfway through. Same reasons, slow, plodding along, and yeah. The second season was just boring, so I only watched 1 episode. So it's probably saying something that I watched every episode of this one. It might mean it's better than the first 2. I don't know. But hey, if you like crime stories, if you like detective stories, I do think you'll like this. I think there is something here for almost everyone. Just be aware that the pacing is rough at times, because it's very slow. But hey, that's all I've got to say. Twitter, Instagram, @the_GrantBurton. Subscribe, yada yada yada. Thanks for watching.